Do you like Kingdom Hearts? I like Kingdom Hearts, though I didn't really grow up with the games, as I never had a PS2. I did acquire my brother's old PSP at one point, and then became obsessed with Birth by Sleep, but I didn't get into the other games until their remasters on PS4. Years later, I bought the HD collections again, except this time on PC. With my most recent playthrough of KHFM, I wanted to accomplish the cool optional things that I had only heard about, namely, the Ultima Weapon and the secret bosses. I knew that neither would be simple, but the first Kingdom Hearts game is so special that I wanted to do more than just finish the story. So after beating the game and collecting everything I could along the way, I decided I'd work to forge the Ultima Weapon, and then use that new Keyblade to hopefully defeat the optional bosses. This playthrough being on standard difficulty, by the way. I'm not a total masochist. The process for crafting the Ultima Weapon is simple on paper. All we have to do is craft every item possible in the accessory shop. You unlock more recipes as you progress. Most of the materials are specific drops from specific enemies, some you get from chests throughout the game, and some materials can be synthesized themselves. Thankfully, there's lots of different resources and guides out there for KH1 at this point. However, the process still involves a lot of patience and luck. And knowledge. I began my synthesis grind by farming for the least common and most annoying items first, starting off with the Serenity powers, only dropped by the pink Agaricus, and only if you go about hunting it in the right way. One of the places it can be in is the Deep Jungle Treehouse, only if the white mushrooms spawn there. If you walk up and see regular enemies, you have to reset the room, which, by the way, is a very common tactic with synth farming, lots of just resetting rooms, hoping to see the right enemies. Anyway, the process goes as follows. Go to the treehouse, see the white mushroom, cast stop on the white mushroom, summon Bambi for MP regen, look out for 2 other white mushrooms in the area. 11 possible spots, by the way. Cast stop on them too. Pink mushy spawns in the middle after that. Have the ability Ragnarok and make sure Bambi is gone. Cast stop on the big mushroom and make sure you hit its head. Combo Agaricus for as long as possible, peppering in Ragnaroks. And then you hope for a Serenity power drop. What does it take to get Ragnarok to work? 20? 30? 40? Potion. Ah, damn it. Simple enough, though for the longest time I didn't realize that summons prevent things like Ragnarok from being used. You need 40 to 60 hits on the thing to just have a 10% chance at the drop. The chance of a drop does increase with more hits, up to 20% with 70 to 90, and only having a 100% chance if you can manage 100 hits on the pink Agaricus. It's fun, but also the worst Heartless, notoriously. The second worst Heartless are the Sniperwilds. Sniperwilds drop Power Stones, and they're not so bad if you can take them out in a single combo, but even if you are strong, they can still overwhelm. You can only see one at first, but if he spots you, he'll call upon an endless horde of his friends, and they do damage quick, so you have to take them out before getting spotted. And if you take one out, 2 more will spawn, and then 3 more after the 2. After the set of 3, it goes back to 1, and the cycle repeats until you fight 30, or if you get spotted. The nice thing is that you only have to take out 6 to have a 30% chance at a Power Stone drop, and you only need 5 Power Stones in total, which is a lot better than the 7 or so needed from the pink mushroom. Sadly, I wasn't recording my early attempts with this Heartless, but trust me, it was a mess. I never quite had a real strategy for them. The other special Heartless are more straightforward. Trying for Mythril Stones next, I had to hunt down the Pot Scorpion. He'll sometimes be at the Agrippa Palace gates, hidden amongst regular crewmate pots. If the pot can be pushed, it's not the Scorpion. Try to break the Scorpion last. But yeah, ooh! I just got a free Mythril Stone without even having to kill one. That's pretty cool, I didn't know that could happen. And block its melee attacks to knock it down in order to do damage. No matter how much damage is done to it, it's gonna get up at least 4 times. Pot Scorp is kinda nice to farm, at least at a high level. But even with a high level, it still takes time, because it hardly lets you do damage to it. I traveled to the end of the world, Final Rest, to try and farm some Stormy Stones. I had hoped for Neo Shadow spawns. I cleared the regular enemies, though, and started picking up some Gale, which I also needed. Good 7 more of them. There's more. More Gale. The Neo Shadows would not show themselves. Oh, there they are. They're the Neo Shadows. They are aggressive. And after looking for a while, I learned about an Encounter Plus ability. Turns out, that ability is acquired by synthesizing 15 items, so I left the Stormy Stones for a little later. Took a break from farming items to attempt the Ice Titan fight, since at this point, Sora and Co were around level 70. I thought I might be overpowered, but I kind of struggled. I'm dying, Squirtle. I don't really care to use my ethers right now. I'm still trying to figure out how not to melt. Ow. Ooh, that was a good series of blocks there. Yeah. Okay. So I left that for later too. Energy stones were supposed to be super straightforward. The stealth soldiers did not want to show themselves to me, however. And I'm not talking in the invisible kind of way, because they are invisible until you stop them. They just would not spawn. They would infrequently, but I decided to come back later with Encounter Plus again. A more fun item to farm are the lightning stones. These involve playing a little game with the black ballade. It makes copies of itself, and then the copies shuffle around. To win the game, you have to track the real one. Guessing correctly gets you a 10% chance to net you a lightning stone. Once I had enough other materials, I crafted some things and got the Encounter Plus ability. With that equipped, I headed back to the end of the world in Hollow Bastion to get those Stormy and Energy Stones. Then, I went to Monstro for Frost Stones. This weird Heartless ghost lives in Monstro's throat. The only way to hurt it is by using consumables on it. Elixirs are the most efficient for this, but I hardly had any, so I just spammed potions. Got some Dazzling stones from Neverland next. This particular fat fish will constantly try to run away from you, while shooting projectiles. If you kill it when it's above the water, there's a good chance of just losing the drop. This Heartless does not stay still though, so most of the time I just had on Treasure Magnet and hope for the best. Farming here also helped me get more power gems. Halloween Town was my next destination, and I was there for Blazing Stones, but it was also a great source to get Lucid Gems. The Blazing Stones are dropped by this funny robot. After it's been damaged enough, it gets knocked down and starts to shoot colorful balls for some reason. The robot is called Chimera, and the balls are its heads, apparently. Deflecting those balls back at it can give you a chance at the stone. Defeating it gives another 35% chance at a stone. Having Arrowga was pretty handy here, since it automatically deflects everything. Mystery Goo is a pretty important material, and it can be farmed in a number of ways. My preferred method was going to the Agrabah Bazaar. Sometimes there are black fungus there. If you kill them with a crit, they drop Mystery Goo. Sometimes Mystery Mold too, which sells for a lot of money. To help ensure crits on them, I use the Wishing Star Keyblade, which finishes combos with a critical hit, along with some other combo abilities to help me hit them. Not the most efficient method, but I found it to be consistent enough. As the farming progressed, I found that I was always lacking Thunder Gems and Frost Gems, so I spent a lot of time going around Atlantica for those. I liked Blaze Shards in particular too. Luckily, those were easy to farm at Monstro. Orichalcum is a weird material that you can only collect from a few key places. Or you can buy it. And I happen to have a ton of money saved up, so after selling my mystery molds, I bought the 8 more that I needed. 40,000 money later, and I was able to synthesize the 30th item. I could then craft the last 2 items before the Ultima Weapon. Finally, my goal was in sight. I just needed a single Thunder Gem, 3 Mystery Goo, and 3 Dark Matter. Thankfully, the Dark Matter can be crafted, but they require a good handful of Lucid Shards, along with some Gale and Mythril. Mythril can also be crafted, which is nice. However, those require more Mystery Goo. I returned to Agrabah one last time, visited the Pot Scorpion to get 1 more Mythril stone, to make Mythril. Then I went back to my Mystery Goo strat and collected more than enough goo. Conveniently, I needed the goo for the weapon as well as Mythril. Lastly, I farmed Lucid Shards from this room in Wonderland, and got a couple more Gale from these enemies again. Went to the accessory shop where I synthesized a couple more Mythril and a couple more dark matter. And with that, the Ultima Weapon could finally be crafted. Then, it was time to take on the secret optional bosses in this game. A lot of them are in the Colosseum tournaments, like Hades, Hercules, Leon, and Yuffie, so I had already made some progress in that department. During my synthesis grinding live streams, I made some attempts at the Ice Titan, initially at level 65. While I was able to survive for a while, learning the Ice Titan's moves, the fight felt really tedious. But after material farming, on-stream and offline, I tried the fight again at level 70. The fight was still really tedious, basically just a war of attrition. I need ice blocking stuff on. I think I still have the XP rings, that's probably what's happening. Where you need to have enough mana, ethers, and potions to heal from the damage that you are probably gonna take in the process of damaging the big boy. Unless you're a god gamer, I guess. It took ages. Seemed like my Keyblade hits did nothing, but with a lot of patience and healing, I deflected enough of its shots back at it to finally win. Got a potion. Cheeky potion. He has 1 HP. Yeah! I got him! This takes a long time. A lot of patience. Yeah. Oh my god. The Ice Titan was beaten fairly early on in the synthesis process. It took a lot of time to collect everything I needed for the Ultima Weapon, and in that time I gained almost 20 additional levels. With only 4 more secret bosses left to fight, I wanted to take out the Phantom next. The Phantom is really quirky, in that it can only take damage if you do the right type of damage to the heart underneath them. The type of spell you need to use is indicated by the heart's color. I, personally, really struggle with that mechanic, as my special quirk is being totally colorblind. Like, not just difficulty with some colors, but like, everything is grayscale for me, essentially. The Phantom has other stuff going on the whole fight too, like putting the lives of Sora's party on a timer. There's a good deal to manage with this fight, even if you can tell what color the heart is. Blindly guessing wastes a lot of MP, as you can imagine. The Phantom can be tough to hit in general, with how it moves. The fight feels almost impossible for me without assistance, sadly. After getting some assistance though, the fight wasn't that bad. Aside from relying on another person's eyes whilst they shout different colors at me. In a nice way. It still took a few tries, but my hours of item farming were really paying off. The Phantom's attacks really didn't do much to Sora. The only slightly scary move could be avoided by just flying away and around the clock tower. Zisa is the name of the boss that was next on my list. His fighting strategy consists of going into different modes. One where your magic is silenced and you have to melee attack the orbs in his hands, and another where he has a barrier that can only be damaged with magic attacks. When his health gets low, he goes kinda crazy. This boss didn't go smoothly at all, but it only took a single attempt. Again, those 20 extra synth grinding levels really paying off. Oh yeah, we almost got this boy. Yep, done. First try. Easy peasy. Sephiroth, however, was a different story. He was not easy. Pretty fun fight though. Even with all my levels, I was trying at it for like an hour and a half. Sephi moves pretty fast when he wants to, and his attacks can get really overwhelming. For instance, he can put your HP to 1 and your MP to 0 if you don't interrupt him while he's casting the spell. Oh no. Not this. Shit. I used the wrong item. Okay. Sephiroth also likes to spam fire pillars at you when you get up close. With time, I started to learn just how helpful and spammable strike rate is, and I began to adopt some obnoxious strats for myself. Not only is it a ranged ability, but Sora is invincible while using it. Having a magic build, I could spam strike rate all day long. And so I did. Strike rate. Yeah! Got him. A little bit panicky there at the end, but that's all we needed. Final Fantasy Longsword Man makes for a really satisfying fight. For the victory, Sora gets a sick-ass new Keyblade, and you, the player, get to watch a sick-ass cutscene where Cloud fights Sephiroth. Last but not least was the fight with the Unknown. I don't really have a lot to say about this one. He's got a lot of lasers, and an entrapping move that you need precise timing to escape. Oh, this move. Shit. Yeah, that's about as crazy as this boss gets though, at least at a high level, and with pockets full of potions. Could have won on my first try if I was prepared for it. Is it this? Oh, shit. I wasn't ready. We almost got him. He's almost done. Yeah. Easy peasy. Moral of the story is, if you have the patience to synthesize the Ultima Weapon, nothing can stop you. Not even color blindness. Not even a tall man with long hair and a longer sword. Ultima Weapon isn't just a keyblade. It's a lifestyle. I hope you've enjoyed this epic spiritual journey. It was pretty fun, except for when it wasn't. Now it's finally time to move past Kingdom Hearts. At least for a long while. I've been trying to decide what game to really focus on next. Last time I made a video like this, I was 100%ing Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. I may just end up replaying Kingdom Hearts 2, but if you'd like, leave some game suggestions in the comments. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. See you next time.